So I've thoroughly wetted this photograph we just mechanically removed, and now I've sprayed water on it, and I am slowly scraping off the final layer. You can see the base layer that's actually the photograph. And the photograph is sitting face down on top of a thoroughly wetted sheet of Mylar to protect the surface of the gelatin while I quickly do this removal. And you do it quickly, but not in a hurry. And you use, only the force necessary to clean up this paper that's on here. So what you're removing is that final layer of paper, and you're also kind of removing the adhesive that was used in it as well. And you can hear the noise it's making, and you want to use that to help you figure out how much force you're using. And you just keep it wet, wet, wet constantly. Wetting is helping loosen up and possibly dissolve some of the adhesive. But another purpose of the water is to act as a lubricant to lower the friction of the photograph that's face down on the Mylar. The Mylar is very slick, very friction free, but the water helps the photograph from being eroded to a degree you don't want. But this is really the best and quickest and of course the simplest way to get rid of the remainder of this. You need to get rid of the remainder of the paper, because otherwise any adhesive you use on top of this to bond the photograph to a new mount is likely to fail. It's certainly likely to be adhered unevenly, and you don't know how well the remainder of this paper is actually attached to the photograph anymore. So it's best practice really for a proper treatment to make that next step of adhering the paper as good as possible. As I said before, you try to do the preceding step as completely and as well as you can, because that's of course going to help the next step. If you don't, you make the work harder for you. You make it more difficult. And of course, as a consequence, you put the item through more stress because you did not properly. You have to be careful of the edge. And so oftentimes you're scraping not in from the edge, but out, so that you don't basically cut into the paper, which, could happen. And I'm using the back of the knife forward, not forward, because that could really end up in a cut. And then when you get to the edge, you're not using much pressure at all with your hand. You're trying to just direct the knife and let the knife's weight, with minimal pressure from you, do the work. You're not trying to shove this photograph through the table. You're just applying what is necessary to accomplish this task. And this task is essential for the next task, which is to clean it. Clean the photograph. We don't want to clean the mount. And then, of course, to remount it. Sometimes the material bunches up and you have to carry that far away. Make sure I get some of that little bits off, like so. And anything remaining there will come out of. Now what I'll do next is so see, there's the photograph. None the worse for wear, but now it doesn't have its crummy backing. Then we'll put this out on a felt and let it just air dry. And then as it's sitting there on the felt and I'm cleaning up, I'll get the bath ready to clean it. All right, there you go. Thank you.